Hi guys! Today we are doing a Allure Best of Beauty Drugstore 2018. We are trying some of the products that Allure says is the very top of the line in drugstore products. So before we get started, we do want to remind you we have a current giveaway going on. Our holiday giveaway will be linked in the description below. So after you finish watching this video, head on over and enter to win.
So we have already got our primer and foundation on. I just can't bring myself to go foundation free on a video. The last video that we actually did that I was foundation free, I think it was the first and the last, was actually our first Allure video.
Yes, it was.
So I don't know, my skin is just so bad right now, and I mean it's just constantly zits popping up and stuff, and I just cannot bring myself to do a video barefaced. So we are starting off already primed and foundation is already on. We did go ahead and use the L'Oreal Infallible Matte Lock Primer. I think this foundation is already pretty matte, I feel like.
It is.
So I can't really tell if it made a huge difference. Although I will say, I don't see much of my pores in that area.
I'm actually surprised because I actually use a pore filling primer.
Yeah, same.
And so I was like, I'm not gonna be able to use my pore filling primer. And I was not very happy about it. And when I put it on, you know, I mean, I could see that it was kind of a matte and everything. And I was still worried till I got my foundation on. And it did a decent job.
Yeah,
of covering up pores.
I'm not really seeing any, I have pores, larger pores right there, and I always have to fill those.
Mine are on my nose and kind of
and even if I do go in with another primer, a luminous primer or whatever, I still use a pore filling primer as well. So I'll use two primers if that is needed. And so I was the same as her, oh, I can't use my pore filling primer for this video. But that actually filled
good.
Yeah.
I'm
not
surprised.
mad about that. But the foundation, you all know, we both love this foundation. It's been featured in favorites videos. So whenever I saw that it was on Allure, I was like, oh,
wow.
That's duh. I mean, obviously this foundation is on there.
Exactly. I mean, I fell in love with this when it first came out. And I have repurchased and I think I've had
She literally bought 3 at one time.
Well, you know, you fall in love with a product and then they take it off the market. I don't know what I'm going to do if they ever take this off the market, because this actually took the place of my high-end favorite.
Yeah, this is really good. It is kind of competition for high-end products.
It is.
It really is. So next we're going to move on to concealer. So the Instant Age Rewind concealer was actually the Allure Best of Beauty this year, which I'm not shocked. It's not my favorite because I am so pale. We're both so pale. Yeah. And the lightest shade just isn't light enough.
It's not light enough. This is actually in both of our project pans. I won't be repurchasing it after I'm finished because it is not light enough. There needs to be a much lighter shade, and I feel like whenever I'm self-tanned, I still want. Whenever I'm self-tanned, I like to do the really what am I trying to say? I like to really do lighter concealers, and even whenever I'm self-tanned, this still isn't even that light. You always want your under eyes to be a little bit lighter, and this is so not. Right now, it's so dark. And it's it's gonna drive me crazy. Mine is definitely lighter. I feel like, but I'll tell you why. I actually have LA Cosmetics, LA Color, I don't know what it's called. For some reason I can't think of it. They have a white concealer, and I always mix it, and I put that on first, and then I put this over it, so I'm sure that there's some of the white still left. So it is really light. That's not fair. Well, because I'm gonna look like I've been punched in the eyes. It's not even. It's a good concealer. It's just not good for us because it's just not light enough. So dark compared to what we normally use. It's not bad when you've got white mixed with it though. So that is kind of a trick if you do have a problem
finding light enough shades for you. LA, what is it? There's gonna have to be a picture on screen because I, for some reason, just cannot think of the name. But it is a drugstore brand. It's actually found in CVS now, which is amazing.
Yes.
So if you have trouble,
LA Girl or
LA Colors or something like that. I just cannot think of it. But it is in the drugstore. It's in our CVS. So if you do have trouble finding light enough shades, then mix in that white. It takes just a little. And it does have a bit of shimmer. But, you know, if you're having trouble, then just mix some of that in and it kind of works out perfect. Allure didn't have a bronzer or a powder, which they had a powder last year, and I actually like fell in love with that powder. But they don't have one this year, and they don't have a bronzer, so we're gonna go ahead and do that off camera.
So next we're going in with blush, and they recommended the Flower Beauty. This is so pretty. Look at the kind of rose embossing on it. This is actually Flower Pots powder blush in the shade Sweet Pea. This is a really, really pretty color.
It's very like light and neutral, but I guess buildable because I'm going in very light and you're kind of...
It's very buildable.
So next is highlight. They actually had a lot of highlights that they recommended. They had like a liquid one, 2 or so powders, maybe even more. I don't know. They had a ton. And obviously there's only 2 faces. Yeah. So Master Chrome was actually one and Wet n Wild was one. So this has been my favorite Master Chrome, my favorite highlight. Just like in general, it is so good.
And then this is the Botanic Dreams in the Wet n Wild. So pretty.
Which, by the way, I will say I do have a Wet n Wild as well. And it's the Blossom Glow, and I use the heck out of this, but ever since this has come out, it's kind of taken the place for now. Highlight is on, and I do have to say, I totally agree with Allure when it comes to these highlights because they have been the best drugstore highlights that I have found. And I mean, they're just like compatible with like high end.
Yes.
Like honestly, I have a few high end highlighters, and these are the ones that I reach for over and over and over again. Like you will not find a dent this deep in any of my high end highlighters. So
next we're doing brows. This is the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow, the brow powder kit. And it is in the shade Soft Brown. So, comes with a little pack with a little brush.
So we're both actually going to be using this. One of the things that I was actually shocked by was, which we actually did a review, so we will have that linked in the description. The Maybelline Tattoo Studio brow thing. I don't remember the name exactly, but that was actually part of Allure's Best of Beauty, which I was so shocked by. If you want to hear our thoughts on that, go check out that video. But I couldn't find it, so lucky us.
So it comes with this lovely sponge tip applicator and a little dual-ended brush.
That's nice.
Yeah, this is actually nice.
This is just like, no thank you. So it actually has the 3 shades. So there's a darker shade, a lighter shade, and then the brow bone highlight, I would assume.
That's what I would assume as well. That's kind of what the picture shows.
Wait, that's actually really weird. Okay, so it's saying to use this end, this fluffy end, with the first shade to like fill your brows, and then define it with this one, and then use this sponge tip for the highlight. Yeah. That is really weird.
I'm not going to be using the fluffy end. I'm just trying out the brush, just, you know.
It's really pigmented, actually.
Ew, it is.
Like, extremely.
I can't imagine if I would have went in with this. Oh my goodness. Gosh. People with the really, really fluffy eyebrows could probably get by with that. But still.
Crazy pigmented, actually. Like, I'm impressed, actually. So
I am too.
I'm not really into powders for the eye, but this one actually isn't that bad. Like, this could almost make me switch to using powders. I'm not gonna, but almost.
No, I'm gonna stick with my absolute favorite, the Benefit.
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird because we each do different things with our brows. So she uses a like gel and I actually use a pencil. Let us know what you use for your brows.
Yeah.
Whether it be powder, gel, pencil, any of them.
I'm actually not mad about this. So I'm not mad about this. This is
I'm
really actually a good brow product. It was a little bit different because I'm not used to using powder products on my eyebrows.
I'm not either.
But it did a really good job. I like the brush. I actually used the tapered end to put the powder on my eyebrows. Then I went in with the big and fluffy end and did the brow bone highlight. And this is actually really, really pretty. And it's very shimmery.
It is really pretty. I mean, you can definitely see that it is like there. Mm-hmm. Moving on to eyes. So I'm not sure how many eye products or eyeshadow palettes or whatever that they had. But here were a few. They had the Alme squads.
Yeah.
And then another is the Rimmel London Magnifies Blush Edition. I'm actually excited about this because I love
those
the
colors.
look of this. This is, yeah, these are like my colors. But I will say, we are not the biggest fan of these. We've tried them out before. I've had these in my collection for a while. We actually did a video where we talked about some of the newer products at the drugstore. And we tried them out for like a week. We tried them out differently and like they just didn't work for us. They're just not that pigmented, but we are going to give them another shot. Yes. Not that I feel like we need to because I gave them plenty of shots and they let me down every time.
Yeah, they're really not very pigmented and it's like, I mean, some of the colors are really pretty, but if you have a hard time getting them on your eye, then it's like, no.
So I'm going to go in with the World is My Oyster Quad. And I'm going to use this kind of as a transition. And I'm like really digging in there. Tap off, like barely anything just came off. Like this is ridiculous. But whatever.
And I'm going to go in with the Ambition Quad. And I mean, we're going to see.
I mean, you saw that I dug in, and I mean, barely any pigment. It's a light shade, yeah, but even still, like, there's lighter shades than that, I feel like, that give me more pigment. I don't know, it's just not my favorite. Maybe the more colorful shades, I cannot talk today, maybe those are better. I'm not sure if there's like a specific one that they kind of wanted you to get. Okay, so I'm gonna actually take Ambition, like this, you know, corner matte shade right here and really dig in, tap off the excess and kind of put it in the outer corner. Yeah, I mean, it's just not as pigmented as I want it to be. It's so disappointing.
Yeah. I'm gonna dip into this palette here. So this comes with its own little tool here. One side is a sponge tip applicator. The other one is a teeny tiny brush. So I'm gonna set this aside. I am not gonna try that. I'm gonna go in with my favorite Lexi brush. And I'm gonna go in with this kind of purple.
I'm gonna go in with the third one that is like right beside the plummy one, and I'm gonna put that in the outer corner. Yeah, wow. I barely dipped into that, and like,
look at that.
Already...
Boom. Okay, so we're gonna blend, and we're gonna blend, and we're gonna blend.
I guess since we were going in to the ALLURE, we kind of got accustomed to, like, and I don't feel like I went in
I did not go in super strong at all. Like, I barely...
Oh my gosh, look at the pigment on that. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
I barely just, like, touch, done, and then, like, boom on the eye, and that's what I've gotten.
Like, and then I blended, and I think that's all that I actually need.
No, yeah, I don't know if it's because, like, we were just using these things, which are not very good, and then boom, we're just into this palette, and it's
this is really, really good though.
Yeah,
I'm already in love.
I'm gonna go ahead and the same shade that I used in the crease, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the, like, under part of my eye, like my lower lash line. Forgot what it was called there for a second, but yeah,
I'm gonna do the same shade under my lower lash line as well. Man, that is so pigmented. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a line. This is how I love to do my liner. It's just with some eyeshadow.
I swear that's how you've done your eyeliner for, like, as long as I can remember.
Well, it just got to where that with eyeliners, like actual eyeliners, they drag so much.
That you have to tug on your eye and stuff like that. I think that's why I have, like, steered clear of liquid liner and, like, winging it out and stuff, because the only way that I've found to be able to do it is to, like, actually tug on my eye a little bit, because I do have, like, I don't know, my eye, I feel like the shape of it just goes down, and so the only way I've gotten it to look good is whenever I'm, like, tugging it up a little bit. And I just don't want to be doing that, like, every day, like, tugging on my eye and making wrinkles, and so I've never gotten into, like, winged eyeliner. So I'm going to go in with this, like, bronzy brown shimmer shade, and she's going to go in right there next to me.
With the pink.
And I'm actually using the brush that it came with, just not the sponge tip side, because no way would I want to do that. Okay, I'm actually going to switch to something a little more, like, packable. So this is actually one of the ALLURE Cosmetics packer brush. Okay, yeah, that's working a lot better. I was like, wow, these shimmer shades are just not performing very well. What the heck? Like, shimmer shades.
They are when you got the right brush.
Yeah. So that brush, I don't recommend the brush.
I have to say, teeny tiny amount of fallout with this shimmer shade.
Some fallout,
but
here.
Not with the actual, like, crease shade or anything like that. But there was just a little bit, and not very much, just a tiny bit of fallout with that shimmer shade. I have to say, I like this.
Yeah, I'm kind of into it. I mean, I will say, it isn't the best eyeshadow palette that you're ever gonna buy. It's not, like...
It's not Laura Lee's.
Jinx, yeah, a Coke. I mean, it's good for what you're paying for it. I mean, I actually think it's probably, like, it's better than what you're paying for, because, like, there are some higher end
that don't
eyeshadow palettes that don't even perform, near as good as this.
So this definitely would recommend this for sure.
Yeah, especially if you're into these shades.
For the most part, Allure does a pretty good job, but yeah, there are some things that's like, why did you put that in there?
Yeah. Next is mascara.
Oh.
They actually had a few. They had a CoverGirl, like the orange tube CoverGirl one, which I actually have that, and I really enjoyed that. They have this one, the NYX Worth the Hype.
And they have the L'Oreal Paris X Fiber.
So I actually already had this, and I know that I love it. It's actually been featured in a favorites video. So, I mean, I know that the mascara is going to turn out. So we are going to go ahead and do this off camera because we make some crazy faces when doing mascara. I think everybody is guilty of that. But it also, this video is going to be forever long anyway. So, yeah, we're just going to save you some time.
So the X Fiber is Donna approved. I really like it. It does have 2 steps. Step 1, and I'll go ahead and show you the wands. That's a little bit curved, but not too much. And it's got a little bit thicker end on it. Step 2 has a little bit of a curve with a little bit of a thicker end on it there, and gives you volume and length, and I think it did really, really well. So I'm impressed.
Yeah, I already knew that I loved this mascara, so I already knew I was impressed with it. I've already gone ahead and put lip liner on because my lipstick is a little dark. But this is the CoverGirl Melting Pout Matte Lipstick. This is in the shade Paradise Lost, and hers is in the shade Coral Chronicles. I already had this shade, and I'll tell you my feelings about this after I apply it. Okay, so lipstick is on. I still hate it. I actually, whenever you do the whole, like, whenever you're applying it and you rub your lips together, at least with the darker shades, it kind of leaves like that line where you've rubbed your lips. Do you ever get that?
Sometimes.
The darker shades are patchy. I'm not sure about your shade, but of course, me being me, I got, whenever I did pick up these CoverGirl Melting Pouts, I got the 2 darkest shades, or 2 of the darkest shades, and so that's all I've been able to try. But the dark shades, they're just patchy. I just don't like them. I love this color, but I just don't like the formula, the smell, anything.
They are not the best. This is a lighter color, and it is also still a little bit patchy. They're buildable, so like when you put it on, it's gonna go on really, really light and not very, very patchy, but you can build it up some, and even building it up, I've probably got like 3 layers on, and I still see just a little bit, but with the lighter colors, it's not as noticeable. So the feel is decent. I mean, it's a little bit dry.
Yeah, it does feel dry, which I don't mind. I don't mind that feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, most matte lipsticks are.
I mean, they're not the worst lipsticks I've ever tried, but they're definitely not the best.
So that is it for this video, but before we go, we do want to quickly remind you that we do have a current giveaway going on, so open the description box, click that link to our giveaway video, go enter that. But since that is it, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up before you leave, subscribe to our channel, and hit the post notification bell so you're notified each and every time we upload.
And don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We are Glam and Glamour on all of them. And until our next video, bye!